friends, it is now time to talk about the materials I recommend for using to finish your starfish and hermit crab drawing. This is such a fun drawing, and I thought it would really make sense today to use crayons and watercolor paint. And so when we talk about crayons, you know, I have Crazy Art, and I bought about 1 million of them, almost. Not quite that many, but a lot of them. And so I'm going to have these Crazy Art crayons forever. I bought them at the time when we had in-person camps and classes, and now I'm just using them, and I keep them in this little container here. But you can use Crayola, you can use whatever brand you have. They're made with wax, they're simple, and they're really colorful, and so they work great in this project. Also, I am using watercolor paint today. Now this one is one that I picked up at Target. It is just a regular old tray of paint. You can use Crayola, whatever brand you have, it doesn't matter. It's just that it's in a little cake form here, and it comes in a little tray. So you need a paintbrush for today. As you can see, this paintbrush has been used quite a bit. It's done a lot of art projects. Your projects don't need brand new materials. If you just, you know, wash them out really well, they will last a long time. You can use them over and over. I've got my trusty cup of water here, and this is something I got at the dollar store. If you don't have one of these guys, I recommend it. It actually is by Crayola, and it was only $1. You can sharpen a crayon here and a pencil. So worth it. It is great. If I had camps again, I'd be buying like 50 of these and giving everybody one to use at camp. So for yourself, make sure you go there and pick one up. Also, you need some paper towels. And as this blue mat, I don't know if you guys have noticed this in other videos, the blue mat protects the tabletop. Now I am working on an art table, and the blue mat is not totally necessary, but it's just an extra layer of protection. It's just a piece of heavy paper, but all you really need as a mat is some poster board. And I've cut this into sort of a large size so I can do these videos, but yours doesn't even need to be as big as this. So anyway, so these are the supplies we're going to use today. We're going to use the wax crayons and the watercolor paint, and that method of combining those two things is called wax resist. This is not hard at all, and it's a lot of fun. I just want to make sure that you guys understand how it works. And before that, I want to mention also, for these media demonstration videos, please consider tagging a friend, sharing a video, liking, loving, something, subscribing, leave us a comment, something, and I will mail you one of these magnets. We've been doing this more and more. I've been really happy to send them out in the mail to you. And they're just really cute. These are for refrigerator magnets, and that's where you put your artwork up, right? So you could hang this up on your refrigerator at home with your art tub magnet, and that would be pretty awesome. So I hope you'll consider doing that. All right, guys, so it is time for us to get started. And so I just wanted to take a moment and look at this drawing so we can see what we're gonna do. So as you can see, this drawing has the hermit crab, the starfish, aka the sea star. It's got some sea anemones, some seaweed, and a tropical fish. And so all of this is underwater. So today, this is going to really be fun to watch as we color, and then we're going to use the watercolor paint over everything. So as you see in the art lesson, natural underwater environments where these creatures live are super duper colorful. So today you can choose whatever colors you want, and you can really just have a good time creating super bright, super colorful drawings. And so like usual, I'm just going to get started with this. I'm not going to finish it. I'll do the rest in time lapse. I just wanted to show you a couple of things. So number one, when you're doing wax resist, because you're going to let the paint fill in all the spaces the crayon doesn't go to, you don't have to color super carefully. You see how there's still white showing through the crayon? That is okay. It's not a problem because the paint is going to go through, and wherever the crayon is not, the paint will be. And so that is a really fun and really cool way to enjoy working without being super duper careful, but at the same time you get to have a really cool result at the end. So as you can see, I'm working to just get some bright colors on my fish, and there is absolutely no right or wrong way to choose your colors. I'm just going to finish this in time lapse. I'll come back and do a demonstration at the end. Here we go. I put on the watercolor paint, I just want to point out to you some things that maybe you are aware of and maybe you're not. So as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to fill in every nook and cranny. This is not an invitation to scribble, but it is an invitation to let your coloring be kind of loose. And it's okay to have white spots showing here and there. You actually want that because the watercolor paint is going to fill in all the empty spots and it's going to look really cool. So also, I wanted you to notice that I've used different shades of green on my seaweed. I did like an orange and a red and a yellow on my sea star. I've got yellow and brown and just purple and pink and just different things. And it just makes it look really colorful and bright. And I just want you to notice that it's not super duper neat and it's also not a scribble. So it's kind of loosely colored. So I'm going to put my crayons away. I didn't really need this at all today. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with my paint. So I'm going to get my brush nice and wet. And I do want blue. And I didn't know if you were aware of this, but this is sort of a mixing tray over here as well. So I'm going to get some blue over here. Let's make sure you guys can see this. So I'm going to get quite a bit of blue going on. And I'm going to add green to my blue. So this takes a minute to get your sort of paint loaded up in your brush. But I'm going to take blue and green together. And then I'm going to start to put it right on top of my paper. And so what we're going to do here is to go right over anything that was on our paper. It's like, don't try to go around the edges. You're going right over the top. And anywhere that the paint goes, it will not stick to the crayon. And so it's just a really, really fun and cool way. Ooh, almost knocked my water over. That's okay. It's a really fun and cool way to create something awesome with watercolor paint and crayon. And so I'm just going to keep going here just to demonstrate. I'm going to add more and more color. And do you see how I'm going right over what I colored with my crayon? I'm not going around it, I'm going over it. I think that's something that is kind of missing when we do this in class, the Zoom class, is I don't know if people understand that. Look at how cool it looks when the paint goes through and sticks to the white paper. And I just really want you to see that today. So I want it to be as clear as possible. So I'm going right over my sand, right over my fish, right over my sea star, and I'm going to add more to it. I want it to be nice and vibrant, so I'm going to keep adding. It's another thing I'm thinking that sometimes people don't know is they need to just keep adding layers of color, one on top of another, just layer, 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 layer. And it's just going to make it look so cool. So I think that's probably about enough. So I've made a little bit of a mess here, but see, that's why I've got this wonderful mat. The mat is protecting my table. And my paper towels now are going to soak up any extra paint that might be on the surface. And I want you to just take a moment and really look at how cool that looks. So can you see how wherever there was an empty spot in the green or the orange or the yellow or the red, the blue paint goes through and soaks into the paper, and it just looks really, really great. And it really looks like it's underwater. So that technique, wax resist, works really well for underwater drawings. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you had enjoyed it. I hope you had a great time. And that's it for now. I'll see you next time, friends.